Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Be Learners. So today we are here to discuss the next chapter, that is natural disaster. So here basically what we will see that the disasters, or you can say the destructions which are caused by the nature, because as you can see the word natural disaster is related here. Natural disaster, this word itself, if you will look carefully, what you will find, there's a word called nature. And what is nature? So all the things, whether it is a plant, animal, or any other living or non-living thing, means simply that is not made by the human. All everything that is called natural. Okay, I mean that they are in the natural state. Okay, so it also refers to the things that happen and beyond our control. Means human beings cannot control all those disasters which is created by the nature. It is beyond the control of human beings also. If you remember, can you control flood? The answer is no. But we can take preventive measures. Can you control earthquake? The answer is no. But we can take preventive measures, preventive steps. So there's a difference between the man-made disasters and the natural disaster is that natural disaster is beyond our control. Beyond our control means beyond the control of human beings. But this man-made disasters, they're like I can say accident, or you can say bomb blasting. These are the man-made disaster, and this can be controlled. This can be controlled. So natural disaster, as we have seen, they arises or they are cause of the nature, and that is the beyond the control of the human beings. So these disasters are caused by the natural forces. These are caused by the natural forces. Natural disaster cause suffering and pain to human race. Means if anywhere, if you remember, or if you remember, just go back and see the newspaper few days back or any moment, what you will find that every time there's a news come that here the storm arises, here the flood occurred, here the drought occur. So all these are the natural disaster, we know that. But apart from that, it brings loss to the life also, as well as to the property also. Many people lost their livelihood. They need to migrate from one place to another. They lost their shelter, there's nothing to eat. Many of them die due to starvation also. So the first natural disaster we are talking about is the flood. Flood, you know very well, when flood arise, how the flood occurs due to the heavy rainfall. Rainfall is good, but heavy rainfall, it means it will bring what? The water will run on the surface of the earth. That is only called as the flood. So overflow means the water of the river that gets overflow. What we call it? We call it flood. We call it flood. India is the most flood affected country after Bangladesh. First one is India, then the Bangladesh. Flood led to the large scale destruction also. It brings more disaster. Now we'll see the causes of flood. First cause, you know very well, that overflowing of water. After that, another cause is like, India. If you'll see the map of India, the South India looks somewhat like this. Okay, somewhat like this. So coastal areas are being, these coastal areas means Mumbai, Gujarat, this Kolkata, not this one, this Kerala, this side we have the Tamil Nadu. So these are sometimes hit by the hurricanes, or you can say the cyclone. These are the another name of the cyclone. If there will be no plants and trees, if there will be no plants and trees, do you think that the roots, there will be the roots of the trees? The answer is no. If trees are not there, then how the root will be possible? You know very well that the roots of the trees, they hold the soil tightly, and whenever the rainfall occur, the rainwater seeps into the soil or absorbed into the soil. So if there is a lack of vegetation, and if there will be deforestation, definitely there will be no trees, then no one will be there to absorb the water, then all the water will flow on the surface of the earth, and this will be the reason for the flood also. And suddenly if there will be a heavy, and suddenly if there will be heavy and continuous rainfall, means if it will be raining from last 13 days, 10 days, then it also bring what? it also brings flood. Then sometimes what happen, the glacier melts, and due to the melting of the glacier, the all the water flows from the upper slope to the plains, and that brings also flood. Now you might be thinking that if the flood will occur, then how, what are the steps that we can take, what are the steps that we can take in order to avoid the flood? The first step, that we should try to leave the area as soon as possible, because if you are living in that area, that is quite dangerous. And stay away from the electric poles, cables, whatever is nearby tall object, it may fall down on you, so better to stay away from all these things. Then if you, every time whenever there is a need to keep the place safe and secure, what you need to do, you need to always have the first aid box, match box, and you can say the essential things that you need to keep, like food items, few food items also. Then avoid swimming or drinking flood water, because at that time, not only that water is poisonous, or you can say contaminated, apart from that, the water, the flood water may have some insect also, may have some in reptiles also. You might have listened to the news also, snakes, this dengue disease, cholera, this disease arises just after the case of the flood. The reason is that after that, the just opposite situation of flood is the drought. In flood, what happened, rainfall occurs in excess amount, but here the rainfall doesn't occur. So there is a shortage of the rainfall over a long period of time. What we call it? We call it drought. This is the period of drought. Then if there is a drought, what happen? Every plant, animal, as well as the life of the people, everything is affected with it. Farmer also faces the problem, because their livelihood is totally dependent on the crops. And you know very well, in India, many of the farmers, they are still dependent on rainfall for their crops, and if there will be no rainfall, it will be very difficult to survive. So drought also brings disaster and destruction too. Now we'll see the ways to prevent the drought. Now what are the ways how we can prevent the drought? First of all, we need to grow more and more trees, because if we'll grow more and more trees, then only we can prevent the drought. You know very well that trees, roots of the trees, they hold the soil, and all the water that is fallen on the ground due to rain, means all the rain water that seeps into the soil. After that, we should try to develop the irrigation facilities. How? By building the dams. And we should always try to adopt the modern techniques like rainwater harvesting, so that water can be stored during the, see what happens in Kerala, especially South India, if you go, their roof is designed in a special way. And what happens, whenever the rainfall occur, that there's a pipe which is connected to the underground. There's a pipe on the roof which is connected to the underground, and there is a tank under the ground. Then what, the rainfall which is falling on the surface of the roof, that gets collected, and through the pipe this water gets collected in the tank. So we should try to adopt the idea of rainwater harvesting. And we should try to grow the crops like millet, maize, and sorghum. These are the crops which do not require too much water. And apart from that, we should try to spray the water to the base of the plant, so that less water will be used. Many people, what they do, they used to water the plant through their mug, or they use too much quantity, and many of the water that get waste also. So we should try to spray the water on the plant in a proper manner, so that we can avoid the wastage of water. After that, earthquake are more disastrous. This is the surface of the earth. This is the surface of the earth. And you know very well that the earth is made up of various, means a lot many tectonic plates. So if there is any vibration, see, Our phone, if it is kept on the table, if it is vibrating, then you know very well that the whole table vibrates and we feel that vibration. Same thing happens with our earth also. There is a vibration that generate inside the earth, and due to this vibration there is a you can say feeling, the feeling that we get during the time of earthquake, that something is shaking. Due to this vibration we get a shaking feeling, so that's called earthquake. And due to the movement of tectonic plates, this vibration arises. And during earthquake, everybody knows that many you can say preventive measures also we used to take. Not only preventive measures, it brings a lot of destructions also. Now see this diagram little bit, uh, how I am drawing. See, this is the surface of the earth, the place where the earthquake originate. This, the place where the earthquake originate, we call it what? We call it focus. And the point just above the focus, we call it epicenter. So this is our focus, which is inside the earth's surface. And just above the focus on the surface of the earth, this point will be called as the epicenter. So inside the surface of the earth where the earthquake originate, that is the focus, and the point just above the focus we call it epicenter. And there is a device which is used to measure the intensity means how destructive the earthquake is, how powerful the earthquake is. The intensity of the earthquake, it is measured by the device that is called Richter scale. Richter scale. So there is a very very famous earthquake that occurred in 2001 on 26 January. This is our national holiday. It was in Bhuj, Gujarat. Bhuj is a place which is in Gujarat. In this earthquake, what happened? 20,000 people died and 16 lakh people were injured, and affected areas were also completely destroyed. Japan is also a country where you can see the earthquake a lot. It's not like that only India or Nepal they only experience the earthquake. Apart from that, Japan is also one such country. And you know very well that in Japan, students and many people, they are trained whenever the earthquake occurs, what are the things that you should do, how you should act. Every training, you can say proper training is given to the people in Japan, students also. And there's a famous earthquake that is in one more famous earthquake in Nepal, that is in 2050. It also brought a lot of damage and property. Always remember one thing, the earthquake which is having the intensity greater than 7, if the intensity on the Richter scale is greater than, it is written here na, that on Richter scale we have 1 to 10. So if the value of the earthquake on the Richter scale is greater than 7, it means that the earthquake is more disastrous. And you know very well that in our day a lot of earthquake takes place, but we experience only the major earthquake, not the minor one. So these are the various precautions that we need to take during the time of earthquake. That we should try to stay away from the tall buildings. We should get out into the open area. We should not use lift during the earthquake. After that, if you unable means suppose if you cannot move out of the building, try to stay under heavy furniture like table. So these are the precautions that one should take at the time of earthquake. Now the next we have cyclone. Cyclone, you can say whenever strong winds blow. Not only wind, apart from that, if it is accompanied means there is a high speed wind, along with that heavy rainfall, means high speed wind is there, plus rainfall. So this is the complete combination of cyclone. High speed wind plus rainfall. This is the indication of the cyclone. And due to high speed wind, many trees and electric poles, they are uprooted, they fall, and many houses are also destroyed. So we should take precaution during the time of cyclone too. So in India, the coastal areas of Gujarat and Maharashtra and the West Bengal, Odisha, Andhra Pradesh. So these are the states which are usually affected by the cyclone. The major, or you can say the famous cyclone that recently we have, that is in 2040, called Hudhud, and it has brought a lot of many destruction in the coastal area, especially in Andhra Pradesh and Odisha. So these are the precautions. Like always, we should try to listen the weather forecast which is played on television or radio. After that, we should try to move to a safer place. Then we should try to carry the essential items. Anything can happen anytime now, so we should always keep ourselves ready for any natural disaster. We should see, we cannot stop those disasters because that disaster is beyond our control. What we can do, we can only take the preventive measures, we can only take the preventive steps. After that, we have the volcanic eruption. So this is the you can say the surface of the earth, and inside the surface of the earth, rocks are present in the molten state. Rocks are present in the molten state. Molten means semi solid state. Okay. So when these rocks, or this molten rocks, or you can say this magma, you can say magma also, when this magma comes out through a tube like structure, and this tube like structure is called vent. Okay, and it flows out. When it flows out, it suddenly cools down and becomes solid, and that is called lava. And through this tube, not only this magma, apart from that craters, sorry, apart from that, hot gases or ash also comes out. So it also, you can say, as you can see, the smoke is coming out, so you can say it causes air pollution also, a lot of destruction also. So this is called volcanic eruption. Volcanic eruption, what we have seen, this hot molten magma that comes out along with the magma, ashes, smoke, these things also comes out, and the whole process is called a volcanic eruption. Then the several precaution that we need to take, we should try to listen the radio or watch television so that we can get the information and we can take preventive measures. We should try to move to the safer place. We should keep a bag ready where we can keep all the essential food items, medicines, matchbox, many more things that we need. Also keep the helpline number. Understood? So unless and until people from the government side, they will not tell you to come back, please don't come, because that gas which comes out, that is very harmful. So stay away from the lava and the hot gases. Then we have the next natural disaster, that is landslide. As the name suggests, landslide, lands get slipped away, or you can say the surface of the land that gets slipped away. So when the soil and the rocks moves down a mountain slope, what we call it, we call it landslide. And this natural disaster is very common in the mountain area due to the heavy rainfall. And now what precaution we should take, we should try to plant more and more trees. We should not cut the trees. We should always try to listen to the weather forecast which is played on television, newspaper or radio, so that we can take the preventive measures and preventive steps to escape ourselves from this landslide. So people should be also aware of the bad weather condition. And always, you know very well that time to time news is displayed on the television and radio. And go through the news and kindly follow all those things in case you can take the preventive measures. You can avoid the problem which is coming. So this was all about the various types of natural disasters we were looking right now. So I hope you have enjoyed the session. Till the time, take care, bye bye, and keep learning with me.